This is from Brett. I'm not going to be doing it. Work. Work more. Save. Plan better. Calculate more exactly. When money is tight, there's nothing you can do. Whatever you do, it is not enough. Your position is bad, it will worsen. This can't go on, but what is the exit? Like the crow who can no longer feed her children, who is powerless against the winter storms, who no longer sees an exit and cries out, you see no exit and cry out. Whatever you do, it is not enough. Your position is bad, it will worsen. This can't go on, but what is the exit? You work fruitlessly and show no exhaustion, to replace the irreplaceable, to repeat the unrepeatable. When the money is tight, no labour is enough. As for the meat that your kitchen lacks, nothing in the kitchen will decide. Whatever you do, it is not enough. Your position is bad, it will worsen. This can't go on, but what is the exit? Burnt out of the rock, nostrils tended to Weimar, good sweatshop. It is bracing, it is cooking. Freud, Moo. Your leg iron, nothing feels up transnational copper better. Work a lot. Swimming pool double bypass, to build a fence around something, e.g. any dying co-worker. If found, whatever you do is enough of that. Exit hole celestial maisonette. Shoe. Black Kral never crashed his kids. Out over one dark, one except, like Ulrika speaks, to nameless art is handout, my riveted culture, bird breath. We watch one another, through a glass ceiling, thick with dust, of automated quickness, run down, glazed of. I really don't want to read all of this, but I haven't decided what not to read yet. So try to respond expressively, with pain and dismay. This is called Two Dreams. It's an argument. The two characters are provisionally called Stephen Lawrence and Rodney King, but you can name them whatever you like. Stephen Lawrence. I dreamed of donuts sniffing out what we always knew to be, laying on my back justiciary, I knew of impediments. I dreamed of forever sensible clothes, gave the aura back. I did not earn slept outrages. A vortex opened, a new branch over my head. Night sail quite cleanly remitted. Do you know? It will never be better than this. Love clocks in red and again, to leave the world to insert here, ploughing remorse with a note. Rodney King. Do you hear in the wind a change? Fog is the end of it, was less brained, optimism is the opposite, but not an equivalent value. Friedrich Schiller fucked in the ass with a digger. Is anything more moral than this pleasure of parasitism, of priestcraft, unequal returns to the scene of what it still is? To found some kind of club is very heaven. The concrete shall wave, good official thought is grooming, pepper-sprayed antagonisms cut softly in a car in a street of Eltham. The glass on the bar, he joined then, not slowly, he came in. We will demand an infinite leasing, life inch by rabid eternal inch. When my pension stripped off in front of me, working it out was easy. When carpets flicker with delight and remorse, the window dissolves parenthetically. They followed me into the office, took my clothes, kissed me, but I was too silent. My thighs taut held against me. Exactitude is what it is to be forlorn, a confused variable. Listen, small proprietors of little enough. Optimism unvouchsafed. Take my returns policy. I'm not in love with the person you specify. No place in the society is not better than the place outside the society which it is the same as. The grace of rectilinear commodities I attend to forever for 3 minutes. In a metric of 2, together with do you remember, our childhood, together obstructing movement, scattering ice in the aisles of companionship and memory. Police divers in blissful dental chemotherapy. You said, we must be ready for anything. But a song sung backwards will not do your tax return, and in any case to whom? It will be read by eyes alive. You buy a penis from a hot dog stand. Fireworks go off in the box where you sign your name. Again and again, the agent of the state kisses your feet. To do now is make myths from the scattered fringes of the heart's catered Boolean stock. Jane Ramirez enters. Lawrence smashes a wine bottle on the table and slashes his face. Exit wine bottle. Rodney King. There is nothing new in these forms, but this, that from the form shall be extracted such letters as this smallest O that makes your tongue retreat. And there you stare until its elasticity is absolute, slaking nothing doing for all it's worth. But no, we can make the world shudder still, a dominating passion that consumed her whole life, so split in two is this ironing board of equivocation and retreat, classes leaking oil onto the sheet of our enclosures, more absolute than, and then climb through. We shall still make palaces, launder our ghoul, the task to be lived up or down or up and down forever. Stephen Lawrence. We should stay quiet for now, for quiet is what quiet does to me, a silence full of labour. It is dangerous to be loud. Get a car, go for a drive to heaven. Gold frosts the window panes and skin is pain, permissive shield. When I move, I feel myself to be a god. I accumulate air, component elements fall into rank, credit them to your account, deposited oxygen flows outwards. The idea that accumulation can be extended is correct but wrongly framed. We can accumulate accumulation itself, and then the accumulation of accumulations will be accumulated. A gambling goes resentfully to fat camp. Dream on, my new telephone, makes love to me. Cigarette smoke in my tweed country house. Father smirks into a horse of collectible mannerism. Clog the sewer system, the second-hand market. And still I am on holiday. Visit cottages whose flesh is the flesh of all of us. Celestial rays a sultry gaze, the motor noises being will be the end of us, bringing down the fist of state upon a glass table, the circumambient air, so then be full of peace, recessed. Order of radio, make the air pink with cerebral chastity. Now look at my chest. We should go about our business. I get my ideas for free, subcontract concepts. I lay in a marriage bed, edit that out, poem after my sister, interstitially. The coffee I drink is unmade by slaves. I merely love its components. Rodney, you have been my love and you will learn that poetry earned its spurs not in organisation, but in the work of problem shooting. Rodney King. That we could put our hands into a ring instead of flame, the whole with matches soft and softer still to stoke the fire and place the ring upon the finger, making up a striptease, the liberation struggle of the proletarian to hit a rock, and so, yet rocks are edible. Where will is found, as edible as your will, to watch the water crash upon the rocks, where all the dreams washed up forever lost from the edge of the woods, if only everyone in the world could be true lovers of their jobs like me, for whom the moment 2 o'clock on can put in shade an orgasm, for whom the etc. I'm really sorry. You embody the whole history of false solutions, that is to say, literally its history, the material development of the delusions of corrigibility. Money is the principle of control, and by controlling it we control all. Until we have more control, we shall never end labour. Sever relation of control between money and labour, or have more labour or more money. There is a plateau. I won't read that. This is interiority, this is payment, I will get the forms. SL. The thigh bone is connected with misery guts. You think we should be together. Our situations are different. My iPad says no way out. I walk over to the rock and it becomes what I want. Lucidly I make love to it. Dismounting from the carriage undiminishably, a grey field rising up will be pleased to greet you. And then another, tearing ferociously at the infer terminal. Rain net. Okay. Class violence is the only remaining ethics. Flood into the ocean the question back. Okay. Lack coherence, and thus Department 2 is black. Stop. The coordination problem, you who believe history is made without proxies like a child know mothetic excesses. Hallucinogens don't get a place in car sex, despite nouveau gauche and despite what we said to the child noting down what we said for a wage. Vellum, scream, console me or don't, all the people insatiable. Your proxy is now lobotomy. The old society gives birth to the class who will usher in the lobotomy. Lobotomy and counter-lobotomy in Germany. Shame is a lobotomy itself. The future Italian lobotomy. After the failure of every lobotomy, light refreshments will be served only to those who truly need them. Okay, class violence must become an ethics. The knife is on the other hand a kind of calculus. Male pride injections. SL. But this is not a game. First, a function is assigned to the term in question. If substitution can occur without the function changing, what measures would we implement to represent the shifting sense of imminence or even total transformation? Footnote 2. Guide for Performance, Hypermetrical Bathos. SL. Assume for simplicity there is only one investment. You. 2,500 prisoners of war forced into a tin, forever. Its loveliness preserving. None the above. For so long as in the morning I continue to cough up grey, for as long as blood forms a ridge under your eye, secured by force and not kindness, there shall be no way to hold apart the bill of the 104 force étudiant critique. Each shall become as the fuel of the other, and taking up arms, they shall drive a carrot through the eye socket of all enemies, and inflamed with truth, on the other side, lozenge. It's just 2 pages of this. Notes and addenda. Lawrence describes the 5 periods of value. Teffel. We have a social problem. The edges of the clouds are golden. The morning light sweetly rose above the window. Down the street a song is being made, angle grinding at that. There is not enough value in this here nor there to be apprised of, and so we try to make it come up from the soil of penury and radial intestine strife, the symbol of an evacuated, not life again, but what we take is gilded simulacra songs of complaint and indecision filed in hearts, artfully recessed into a bank of volunteers. Are there ways to make a complaint in the queue? What to do when information is the substitute for affect, but every effort to recover affect from information contribute only you, king, stuck in the past where dreams of chivalry shatter against techno-medical corridors, shudder coldly with vanity. Again, Marx slaved day after day to know what work is done and where it goes, for whom it's for and what it does, covering shit with the whitest glove. And he wrote at a time when every drop of value had another value just above it. You, each arranged in a chain of reason to estat in a pipeline, and rung in blood from palace after the gallbladder will have other uses, lined up against the sunk costs. An ocean above is value here, where machines grunt into life, the cutting machines of our relations, unlocked and shifted right, on a graph made of cowardice and lies. Justly not doing anything about doing nothing evaded. But if value is an abstract quantity, feed in wood to the mouth of the verse. The verse has value in it, and so does nothing. Nothing is the origin of all our values, riddled with flaws like a sex slave on acid. If she strikes ye, then ye must thrice relent to her. Value the masseuse of interstitiality, releasing the tension of the nicked identisha. Coat gag. But what to do about it? French courtiership on a bourse on a cruise ship. Lozenge, namely, the vortex we spring from, save that through a rift of output, gaps in the world must be demanded, where no anguish is immunized against corrigibility, because no event can be preserved behind the grate. You work at the counter of N superscript D equals F, open brackets W divided by P, close brackets, Italian walnut, where rings of fire supplied you work at the counter and board. Determined value in a ring of fire encircling links, undersupplied and Jugendstil remorse, when each drop ATM we are dreaming, not operative, because in motion open veins of CEOs, and inside the veins, this is no longer a case. What is the case today of only this, that what doesn't seem to function as number greater than going round and equals 0 round, there is not enough profit in the world. The numbers will not stick, condensed you shed them from you, swinging from the ropes of a culture they detest. Not them, not now, why us, etc. Or even from just one person. Volunteers? Yes, your life is problematically affected by sunk costs, isn't it? I think that'll do.